All right, rock stars, here we are. I am in the shop and I am trying to get some things done. So I'm going to take you around and show you a few things we've done and tell you a little bit about the journey. So for starters, I moved up here by my garage door and we'll look back this shop. I have a one car garage. It's 12 by 24. About 3 weeks ago, you couldn't even walk through here. It was full all the way back with stuff from the shop, the breezeway, the barn, and the shed. And not that any of it was bad stuff, it's just that it's not conducive to a work area, and that's what happens when you're preparing to add equipment and your making cycle, like mine, which is through the wintertime and the spring, is over and your market season is running. So during the revamp of the shop, I decided I needed a larger CNC because my 318 wasn't cutting it, and I needed a drum sander because a lot of the things I do are panels, and it's much easier to just pass your stove cover through the drum sander, turn it over, or turn it around, pass it back through, and then do the same on the other side than it is to sit and sand with a either a rotary sander or just like a palm sander. So we decided to do that. And then also I took a hard look at the workflow and moving stuff around and having to slide one thing in and one thing out and all of that. So I decided that my router table and belt sander would just go here near the door. They both generate a lot of dust, and I don't have a dust collector at the moment. I'm using a couple of shop vacs to handle that. And the router table is more infrequently used than the belt sander, so it's fine right here. But when I buy material, I come all the way in the shop to the miter station. I cut it to length. And then if I want to do anything with it, then I'm going to joint one edge. If it needs planed, I'll plane it, but usually S4S is, you still might want to run a joiner over one edge so that you can cut it to width on your table saw. And then, depending on what the project is, we either make a stop here at this table and, do a glue up. And I use a sheet of vinyl on here. It's an old Chipotle menu sign my daughter brought me from when she worked there. Or I have this old piece of countertop laminate that I've just laid on top of my other work table in case I need to do something, lay out parts or whatever. And the contrast of the color of the parts and the tabletop helps me count stuff and all of that. And then down here, just tool storage and, things. It's still under construction, but you have more systems in place. Here is my pine scrap. Down here's my hardware cart. That was my first project video. In the file cabinet are plans and manuals in the bottom drawer. And then inside that door are just bulk bolts and things. Under here, I've sorted out all my scrap hardwood, and then I've got some nicer pieces of material on top. I have my first cutting board that I ever made had a run-in with an electric hand planer, and so I've got to plane it on my big planer and then drum sand it, and then I'm going to turn it into a clipboard. I've got some 1/4x6 poplar there I'm going to make a box out of, and then I've got 2 pieces of book match curly maple. I'm going to do something fun with that, probably a box, because Daniel Holmes has got me hooked on the idea of making boxes, all these great boxes he's been giving away over on his channel. So, then I've got, the bandsaw. And then here is my laser. It's a very small, it's a TTS 55 Pro from Two Trees. It was a $160 laser, and I think I paid $130 for it last Christmas time. And around Thanksgiving, the SainSmart 3018 Pro, the Prover 2 was on. I think I got it for $199. I wanted to learn CNC. I wanted to learn laser, and I didn't want to put out, lots and lots of money up front, not knowing if I could even figure it out. So I did that. There's the Jet drum sander. That's the one Amazon dropped off the truck and still didn't manage to break anything, but it has a loose switch. So Jet's going to send a tech to replace a switch. And then there's this guy. Loves CNC. My 3018 over there is just not a rigid machine. I want to do big projects. I want to cut out, kind of manufacturing. I want to be able to, cut out larger pieces or lots and lots of small pieces. And the 3018 just isn't a rigid machine. It has a very small cutting area. So I bought a long mill. And one of these days, I'm going to actually get to putting it together. But I want to get the rest of my maintenance tasks managed in here first. And I'm just about down that list. So I think I'm going to cut this off here. And it's just an update video. Let you know where I'm at. One moment. All right, so this isn't really a project video. It's just kind of a catch-up update, time in the shop. I got a few chores I'm going to do, and none of that will be interesting for you to watch. It's kind of like, the idea of watching grass grow or paint dry. It's a good time, but you'd rather not be doing it. So I'm going to say good night, y'all. Blessings, and thank you for watching.